Hi everyone. So today we're going to be working on reviewing and working with our absolute value and absolute value inequalities. I know this is a struggle for us. They are, like I said, problem children. So hopefully we can wrap our heads around why we're going to do what we're going to do and give us a better understanding on how to solve these particular equations and inequalities. So that's what we're going to try and do today. Solve absolute value equations and inequalities. So let's talk about equations first. So here I have the absolute value of x is equal to 5. Now remember, when we talk about absolute value, we're talking about the possibilities of the expression in between those bars. And remember, those bars tell us to do something. They tell us to take whatever's inside there and make it positive. So remember, it represents how far something is from 0. So this particular thing, this particular expression is saying that the distance from 0, let's do a graph here. Okay, so here's 0. This particular one is 5 units away from that, but it doesn't always have to be in the positive direction. I think I have to add on here. Okay, it can also be in the negative direction. So this guy inside here could be here or here. I don't know. But I do know that whatever that expression is, he's 5 units away from 0. So that's why when we're solving for the value of x, we're going to say he's 5 or he's negative 5, because he could be on the right side of 0 or he could be on the left side of 0. Whatever that distance is still 5 units. I just don't know what side of the world he's on. Okay, so let's apply that to here. So we're saying that this expression in here is 18 units away from 0. Now he could be on the positive side of 0 or on the negative side. So if he's on the positive side, it would look like that. Or if he's on the negative side, it would look like this. Okay, so don't get hung up on the x. Think of the expression that's in between those two bars. Okay, because I can't calculate that yet because I don't know what the value is. So now that we're going to divide by negative 3, that expression, that value for x is negative 6. Or he's 6, because when I put 6 back in for x, I'm going to get 18. All right, and the absolute value of 18 is 18. So it's about how far are you from 0. Now here, if I'm talking about how far something is from 0, I can't, because that plus 5 is in the way. All right, he's 9 units away from 0 plus 5, or so many units away from 0 plus 5 gives me 9. So we got to figure out how far you are from 0 without that plus 5. So let's subtract him and get him out of the way. So the absolute value of 4 minus 2y is equal to 4. So now we know that this expression is 4 units away from 0 on either side. So that's why, again, we're going to do 4 minus 2y is equal to 4. And 4 minus 2y is equal to negative 4. Okay, we're going to solve both. Subtract the 4, we're going to get 0. So we're going to get 0 is for 1. And then negative 2y is equal to negative 8. Y is equal to 4. So if I put 0 back in, we're going to get 4 plus 5 equals 9. If I put 4 back in, I'm going to get the absolute value of negative 4, which is 4, plus 5 equals 9. All right, let's try this one. Again, I don't know how far that expression is, but if I take the absolute value of that expression and times it by 3 and subtract 6, we're 24 units away from 0. So we got to do some things to come up with what is that absolute value. Remember, never distribute the 3 or anything on the outside, because that changes how far you are from 0, and we're not going to do that. Okay. So we're going to get 5y minus 7 inside the absolute value is equal to 10. So 5y minus 7 is 10 units on the positive side away from 0. And 5y minus 7 is 10 units away from 0 on the negative side. Okay, so we're going to solve. Yes, you're going to get fractions, and that's okay. Okay. All right, believe those all work. That sounds like good to me. All right, so what I have here, guys, is I want you to pause the video. There are 3 problems on the other side. I think it's B, D, and F. And I want you to try them on your own and then restart the video and check your answers. Okay, so here's what I got. Okay, I got -3 and -11. Now here, this is one of those cases where you have to check your answer because we have a variable on both sides. Always a problem. So when I put I put 1/2 back in, I get 5.5 on the left. And then I get 3 times, that's like 1.5 minus 7. I get -5.5. Not the same. That's why 1/2 has a big X over it, because he's not right. And the same with 3 and 0 both work in the last one. So hopefully you got those right. If not, let's find our mistakes so we can figure out what we're doing wrong. Okay, so hopefully that clears up our question about equal to absolute value. Let's talk about greater than and less than absolute values. All right, so I don't know what happened to my absolute value bars there. And the same over here. They disappeared. All right, so let's make this the absolute value of x is less than a. All right, or let's make it a number. Let's do a number. Let's do 4. I like 4. 4 is one of my favorite numbers. I don't know why. All right, so let's think about it. We want values that are less than 4, that when I put them in the absolute value of numbers less than 4. Well, we can do like 0, 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 blah. All the way up to, but not including 4. But what about on the negative side? Well, let's see. -1. If I put -2 in, -2, absolute value -2 is 2, so that works. Oh, looks like a pattern here. That we're going to be between -4 and 4. Okay? Those are the values that work. So you're going to be greater than -4 and less than +4. Okay? Or you can leave it as the between idea, but I find it easier to solve. Now, again, anytime you're doing an inequality, you should always have a graph because it talks about the infinitely many solutions that are part of your equation. Now, I'm going to be using interval notation. We talked about that a long time ago. Remember, interval notation is the open circle, closed circle concept. Parentheses go with open circles. And we just draw them toward each other. And since this is between, we're going to put a little between there. Okay, let's come over here. So less thans are always a between concept. Greater thans would always be a, though think of it as, again, let's do a, or let's do 4. Let's make it an equal to. Okay, so values that are greater than or equal to 4, you got 4, 5, 6, yada, yada, yada. Okay, before Seinfeld, there was no yada, 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 by the way. Or you have -4, -5, -6. So you have values that are less than -4, and you have values greater than or equal to +4. Graphically, okay, and again, I'm going to use interval notation. Bracket for equal to, greater than, bracket, less than. Okay, so greater thans usually 99.9% of the time are going to go away from each other. Okay, so let's try a couple. Okay, same rules apply. Oh my goodness, sorry. Oh, I'm watching the football. I'm getting tired. Well, that's another discussion. Okay, we're going to get our absolute value by itself. Same rules as before. Okay, there they are. Okay, we're going to go y is +3. It's less than 3. So we're getting all the values that are less than 3. Going to make that absolute value true. Okay, so we want all the values that are less than 3, that distance from 0. Okay, and then you have y plus 3 is greater than negative 3 to also make those values true. So you have y is less than 0, y is greater than negative 6, and we're going to draw our graph. Okay, so we got negative 6 to 0. Again, interval notation, parenthesis, parenthesis, between. Okay, and don't assume that brackets always go with greater than and parentheses always go with less than. It's just this particular problems. Okay, let's try this one. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Subtract 5, 3z minus 2 is greater than 9. Okay, so we want all the values that are inside our absolute value to be greater than 9, so I got to figure out what that are distance from 0. Okay, now I've got to figure out what that z value is. So 3z minus 2 is greater than 9. 3z minus 2 is less than negative 9. Subtract the 2, or add the 2, we get greater than 11. 11 thirds. Add the 2, negative 7. And fractions are fine. When we draw our graph, we're not being real specific here. We have 0. We can just put negative 7 halves on this side, 11 thirds on the positive side. Let's see, we got parenthesis less than 7 halves and parenthesis greater than 11 thirds. Okay, let's do one more and we'll call it a night. Okay, so we got to get rid of the 9. Why did I write 5 there? That's negative 14. We're going to divide. No. Yeah, we're going to divide by negative 4. All right, 7 halves it is. Okay, we got this. So we're going to do negative 3 t plus 7 plus 7t is less than 7 halves. All right, make sure I didn't do bad math here. Subtract the 9, get negative 14 divided by negative, yep, okay. Negative 3 plus 7t is greater than negative 7 halves. All right, 7t, we're going to add the t. What is that? I didn't dig out my calculator. All right, it's parentheses 7 divided by 2 plus 3, 6.5. All right, we're going to go for decimal root here. Divide by 7. Oh. Okay, is there 13/14? Or let's go with or 13/14 for those of us who prefer fractions. Okay, so here we're going to add the three. Okay, so I get negative 1/2, and we're going to divide that by 7. I get negative 1/14, or 0.071 negative. That's a war. Okay, so I ran out of room for my graph here. Let's just kind of see if I can squeeze him in over here. What do we got? 0, 13/14. Again, I'm a fraction person. All right, so we want less than 13/14. Okay, so we're going to go, these are all equal to's. Now, gotta get my shit together here. Bracket, bracket, between. All right, so why don't you pause the video, take a few minutes, pause the video, try the other 3 problems, see how we do. All right, let's see how you did. So the first one, we had to add 3, solve, that seems too bad. The next one, we set up the 2, less than 0, greater than 4. Again, brackets are equal to's. Here we had divide by 3. Why did I write 18 there? Oh, I didn't show it, but you had to subtract the 4. That's where the 18 came from. Okay, divide by 3, and I get less than 4, greater than 8. All right, so hopefully this helped us with our concept of absolute value and absolute value inequalities. We will be doing some more when we meet. So in the meantime, have a great rest of your day. Please stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you again real soon.